Okay, welcome to our Career Chat series with the College of Arts. I'm Tamara Courage, the Arts External Liaison Coordinator, and joining us today for a Career Chat interview is UFV student Ileah Barnes. Ileah is a UFV student pursuing a BA in psychology with a minor in peace and conflict studies. Currently, she's living a glamorous, adventurous life, studying abroad at, is it Mahidol University? How do you say it?
Mah with
Mahidol.
an N, the transliteration, it kind of changes. Yeah. But
Can you say that?
Mahidon.
Mahidol. Okay, got it. Mahidol University International College in Thailand until July 2023, which she says she is super excited about because she loves living in Thailand. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. I know the time zones are a bit off, so I know it's very late for you. So I really appreciate this, Ileah. You and I met last year when you applied to do an Arts 380 Marketing and Communications practicum with UMAP, which stands for the University Mobility in Asia and the Pacific region. Have I got that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an organization that connects students like you with universities in the Asia Pacific region. Through your practicum, you learned about the field of international education, which you say gave you the motivation to apply for a second practicum with UMAP and to study abroad. This experience has helped you develop your aspiration to work in the field of international education in the future. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So outside education, career, and currently having a very fun life experience, you also say that you love traveling and singing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Singing? So I'm delighted to have you here today. Welcome to the challenge. Are you up for the challenge?
Yes, I'm up for the challenge. Thank you for having me. I'm excited for this.
Okay, great. And to learn that you love to sing, that's amazing. So any particular genre?
Uh, Pop music, to be honest, like Ariana Grande, but I can't sing as well as her, but it's still fun to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, she tends to she also ends words like I'm always like trying to listen in, like what did she say at the very end there?
Yeah.
Yeah. She starts strong and then she just like, I'm just gonna do what I want. I appreciate that. Since we are on opposite sides of the world right now, it might be useful for us to ease ourselves into the conversation. Um, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what sparked your interest in applying to do a practicum?
um, well, my name's Ileah, like Tamara introduced me. I'm 25 years old. Um, what interests me in joining a practicum is that I've always really wanted to do a practicum, but I was never really brave enough before. And I finally kind of got the courage to apply for it. And the description for UMAP really interested me. Personally, I'm Asian, like half Asian, half Filipino, and half English, but it really interested in me because I know that it's really important to go abroad for like, since I'm half Filipino, like for my family to go abroad is something that's a really big opportunity. So helping students like that in a way was really exciting to me, even if it's just like social media marketing, like getting the word out there. I thought that was really cool and something I wanted to take part in.
That's great. So fear, you said, was the thing that
Yeah.
prevented you from doing it in the first place. Um, was there something in particular that made you think I'm going to just cross the threshold and email Tamara?
Um, I think it kind of came to a point where it's just like I have to kind of do this. Like I know I really want to. I kind of have to get over my fear of like because I'm a little bit social anxious or a lot social anxious. But I knew it was something I really wanted at the same time. So I kind of had to consider like, do I kind of want to stay in my comfort zone and give up something I want? Or do I pursue something I want and kind of get out of my comfort zone and feel a little bit scared sometimes? But I'm really glad that I did that.
Yeah, and I think it's nice to hear students say that because you're not alone. I think too through COVID as well, it's been more difficult for people to stay connected socially, virtually and in person, you know. Congratulations for making that step and saying, I need this. And it looks like, I'm guessing that it's paid off in some ways. It's in dividends, maybe. There are some rewards to what you've done by saying yes. So that's really cool. What is a big world problem that you would like to change? Yeah, let's just
Um,
dive into a big, big question.
um, Social inequalities in general, like against marginalized groups, I would like to reduce the the gap between like what uh, maybe more privileged groups get to have versus what people who are in more marginalized groups, like they don't get to experience that as much. And I would like to even that gap as much as possible. um, it's a very large task, but hopefully like even in small ways that's something I can work on and contribute to, like helping solve.
Yeah, I think that helping sort of rebalance inequities so that there's more fairness and justice can be done in so many ways, so many aspects of your life. And you're right, it can be done. It's the little things that really can add up to, a ripple effect, right? That has a huge impact on people's lives. What person, place, or situation has impacted your worldview?
To be honest, there's like this Japanese figure skater named Yuzuru Hanyu that I really look up to as a person because um he has like a lot of naysayers, but he's always pursuing what he wants and pursuing what everybody tells him, like, oh, you can't do that. But he ends up kind of doing it. And that's because he puts in all that work. And at the same time, he does like a lot of philanthropist stuff. Like he donates a lot to charity. Um, uh, yeah, I just really look up to him as a person. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's something to be said for people who just have that can-do attitude and say, yes, I'm just gonna plan something and I'm gonna follow through, and it's going to, whatever impact it has, hopefully positive, um, that it might, encourage other people to do the same. So that's absolutely, I think I gravitate towards people like that too, that have a certain kind of optimism and drive. Because internally we may have it, but it's hard to put that into fruition or action. And so it's great to see other people do that and model that, so that you feel more comfortable just going for it, whatever works for you as an individual. How do your personal values align with your work? I guess your practicum or what you're doing right now.
Uh, yeah, like I mentioned about like social inequalities, I feel like helping students study abroad can reduce those social inequalities, especially if they come from a country where they might not have the opportunities that they need in order to succeed. So I think like that's pretty in line with what I want to do. Like I want to reduce that gap.
That's a good answer. I'm on board with you absolutely 100%. It's a lot of shoes to fill, but it's important for sure. And I think that you giving something into something like that, it gives back to you in return. There's that exchange all the time. What experiences have shaped your goals, innovative skills, and thinking?
Uh, to be honest, like working with UMAP is like kind of like shifted my whole life a little bit. Like your path, it just gave me a lot of experience and uh, kind of helped me develop my skills and give me like a sense of capability that I didn't have before. Like I had that fear, but it kind of got rid of that. Um, and there's like many challenges that I faced with my practicum and that I've had to kind of solve and be like, okay, how do I solve this? Because the way that I thought I could solve it, it didn't work. So now I have to try something else. So that kind of goes in line with like innovative skills and changing my thinking.
Would you be able to elaborate at all about the sort of difficulties or examples, of where you've sort of overcome those difficulties?
Yeah, like I had to create this animation video and I didn't have like the background knowledge really. Like I have artistic skills, but I don't have the background knowledge in like the programs. So I had to like continuously like find a way to make things work for me, like with the level of knowledge that I know. Obviously, I can't make like an extravagant animated video, but I could do things in a way where it still looks good, but it's still simple enough for me to do. So it was kind of like continuously going through phases like that when I was making the video. Um, the video hasn't been released yet, but I have completed it now, and I think it looks pretty good. So
Awesome.
I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah.
Well done. Yeah. Did you have any supervision or help along the way, support with that?
Chelsea, my advisor, she like offered help in terms of like providing like courses that I can maybe take. But I mostly relied on like YouTube videos, to be honest, or like internet advice. I kind of, since it's not really her area of like expertise, like when it comes to animation, like that's not her job. Uh, but she was very supportive, but she couldn't really like help me in that regard.
Mhm.
So I kind of had to just figure things out on my own, I guess.
YouTube's amazing. It's like a
Yeah.
miracle educational tool, especially for technical skills. I use it all the time. Is there a course that you have taken at UFV that stands out for you, and why?
I'm now like a peace and conflict study minor, but before that, I was considering political science as a minor. But I took peace and conflict studies just kind of like randomly. Like I just like I was interested in it, and I kind of needed credits. So I entered the course not really having much expectations of it. I'm like, well, this might be interesting. But uh I don't know. It really like UMAP, it kind of also shifted my life a little bit. Like it shifted my perspective of the world, like how you can like build peace and transform conflict on like a personal level, like a community level, like a global level. I think a lot of students experience that when they take like a peace and conflict studies class. It kind of like blows their mind a little bit at first. So it's what I experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you can apply those skills in a real world setting and in what you're doing at UMAP, um, it, it allows you to kind of think about the small, the macro, and the micro, the small and the big picture about what you can accomplish, about what can be accomplished with a small group of people or with one organization, or what you can do every day. So very interesting. Okay, so tell me about your career goals and have they changed from when you started your degree until now? Whereabouts are you in your degree program?
Finishing up my third year. Um, and I originally started out pursuing a psychology degree because I wanted to become a therapist. That was like my big goal, and I was really passionate about it. But over time, I started like thinking, uh, maybe I could be like a good therapist, but I don't know if this would make me happy. And then working with UMAP, it kind of, I guess, introduced me to a field that I didn't really know existed. Like I knew studying abroad happened, but I guess I didn't realize there was an entire field kind of dedicated to that with international education. So UMAP introduced me to international education, and I was like, wow, like I'm really interested in this. I'm really passionate about it. Um, it gives me the opportunity to be abroad as well, which is something that I prioritize. And it seems much more like a fit for me, even though I still like psychology and I still want my degree in that. And I might pursue like becoming a therapist later. I feel like right now, international education is something I really want to do.
Yeah, and you can always use the skills that you've learned in your psychology classes, apply them in so many
Yeah.
different ways without having to necessarily be a counselor or a therapist. Same with counseling skills that they're applied through every interpersonal skill, interaction that you have with people. So always worthwhile skill to have for sure. And when you're dealing with international education, you're dealing with that sort of intercultural, cross-cultural skills. So it kind of diversifies and becomes more in depth and intense and really, really fascinating. I find that my area is all in that too. So I am passionate about that. Okay, so what are you most excited about right now?
Getting to continue studying abroad in Thailand, because originally I was only supposed to stay until April, but recently I kind of, uh, again, I was kind of scared they would say no, but they said yes. Uh, so now I can stay until July, which I'm really excited about. And I also have a few upcoming trips to travel around Thailand with my friends on the weekends, like to go to Chiang Mai and Phuket. So I'm really excited about that as well.
Okay, so one of those extra optional questions was describe your ideal vacation. Does this involve what you're talking about?
Yeah, like ideal vacation, just getting to be like able to travel Thailand with the friends that I've made here. I've made some really good friends, and I haven't gotten to travel anywhere yet, but I'm really excited to go somewhere with them because it's going to be like super fun to go to the beaches and stuff like that and see elephants in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, it's a great country to travel in, and wonderful if you have friends to share that memory with. You'll never forget it, for sure. If you were a superhero, what powers would you want to have?
I would want teleportation, even if it's just like to cross like a small distance, like because in Bangkok, if you want to cross the street, you kind of just have to uh, cross without going on a crosswalk sometimes. So I get really scared. So I would like it if I could like teleport just across the road, which would
it's like a very sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm scared that like one day me and my friends will get hit by a car and that's not going to be good. So it would be good to have to teleport across.
I love that with your powers, your superhero powers. It could be anything, but you chose something that was very practical.
Yeah.
It's something I can use right now, so that we survive this trip in Thailand. Yes, when the rule is, I think, when you're in Thailand, and many other countries around there, is to commit. Do not hesitate, right?
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, you can stop in front of bikes more often, but not cars and buses. They might not stop for you. But yeah, me and my friends, it's good if one of us is brave and then we can all go. But if I'm stuck with my friends that are all like scared like me, then we get stuck for a little bit.
So do you have plans to visit family in the Philippines if you still have family in the Philippines?
Yeah, I do have plans to visit them. I'm hoping that I can leave Thailand in April for like a week or so before my next semester starts. And then after my study abroad experiences finish, then I can maybe go again and see my family again.
So would you encourage other students to apply to UMAP or to a practicum experience?
For sure, like for both. I think it'll change your life in ways that you may not even expect. For both of them, especially with UMAP, there's a lot of opportunities for Canadian students. I think, or it might be ending now, but there was a lot of opportunities when it comes to scholarships, which might be worth looking into if a Canadian student is watching this. And for practicums, it gives you a lot of experience and it gives you practice in a field like maybe you want to try going into, or maybe gives you insight into a field that maybe you don't know about enough yet. But I highly recommend both for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the key. It's to really take the opportunity while it's presented to you to do something out of your ordinary. I find that students get the most out of a practicum when they do something that's kind of just beyond what they could have imagined that they could do. Because this is the time to do it, right? To experiment, to test the waters, see what you're good at, see what you're interested in, and you'll come up with a whole bunch of surprises and adventures like you're having right now. So thank you so much, Ileah, for staying up late to talk to us today, to complete the 10 by 10 challenge. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
Yeah, totally.